My cousin is looking for excitement. When she was hitchhiking in an uninhabited area, she deliberately unbuttoned her clothes and suggested another way to offset the fare. I advised her not to do anything rash because the rescue team would be here soon. My cousin looked at me with disdain and said that if she didn't try something exciting now, it would be inconvenient to go back to the big city. Anyway, she was in an uninhabited area and her family wouldn't know about her extravagant play. What was she afraid of? Seeing that I still refused, she took 2 suspenders and followed the car. Later, my cousin's signal disappeared at the border. Her family spent a lot of money to redeem her. The tortured and emaciated cousin blamed me for everything. If my cousin had taken the initiative, I gave the owner 8,000 yuan for road expenses, and I would not be sold to human traffickers because I could not pay off the debt. I was dirty, but my cousin must die. My angry uncle and his family dragged me to an uninhabited area and let me be eaten clean by passing beasts. When I opened my eyes again, I returned to him. When I stopped a car on the side of the road, what a broken car. It broke down in this place where no one lives, in an uninhabited area. My cousin pointed at my car and her face turned red with anger. This is my car. In order to record a long video to show off to her friends and pursue excitement, the car broke down because of excessive speed, but she felt no guilt at all, just complained blindly. At this moment, a large truck without license plates drove over from the yellow sand. At first glance, I knew that my cousin would soon ask them for help. She would also propose to the 4 men that she could make up for her past life by sleeping with them. He got on the car despite my dissuasion, but was tortured to the point of being emaciated. Under the angry eyes of my uncle's family, he pushed me out. It was because I refused to pay the fare that he was defiled by the 4 men and eventually sold to the border to be tortured. I was speechless and was thrown into a no-man's land by my uncle's family, who hated me so much that I was eventually killed. Fortunately, I was reborn. Before I died in my previous life, the plan that I have repeated countless times in my mind can finally be implemented. A car is coming, help, help. My cousin waved her hands quickly just like in the previous life. The truck slowly stopped in front of us. The man driving the car was called a biao. He rolled down the window. His impatient eyes swept over the suspenders on my cousin's body. A smile appeared on the corner of his mouth. 2 little beauties. Is there anything I can help you with? My cousin winked at him. Big brother, our car broke down. Can you give us a ride? The co-pilot squinted his eyes and curled his lips and asked for a big mouth. Okay, but can you afford the toll? A price 8,000. He hesitated, then pulled the shoulder strap down. Brother is still a student. He came to travel during the summer vacation. How can he have money? How about we use sleeping with him to pay for the fare? I am a dancer. The brothers will definitely be satisfied. Several people looked at each other and smiled with their own ulterior motives. You said it yourself. Come on, the journey is long. We are just worried about having no fun. My cousin was extremely happy. She pulled me to get in the car. This time I didn't pull her back. I just pulled my hand away and stared at a biao. Big brother, the rescue team will be here soon. I have to stay and wait for someone to tow the car. My sister selling herself to pay off the debt is a joke. After you get out safely, I will find his family to give you the travel expenses. Add WeChat to facilitate the transfer. In the last life, they not only raped my cousin, but also sold him to human traffickers. This group of people are extremely vicious, but they will do anything for profit. A biao took out his cell phone immediately, but my cousin stopped him, glared at me and lowered her voice saying, "What do you mean? Aren't you going with me? Just let me go with them and you didn't even stop me. How can you be a sister like this? It's getting dark. Who knows when the rescue team will arrive? It's already now. Can you stop pretending to be serious, okay?" I almost laughed out of anger when I heard this. Last time I tried my best to stop him, but he ridiculed me for not knowing how to enjoy life in the moment. Now that I don't stop him, he is unhappy again. He is afraid that if something happens, no one will help him take responsibility. Right? I said impatiently, "Isn't this your own choice? You've grown up, and I believe you will be responsible for your own choice." After that, I went to scan the code to add a biao's WeChat, but he suddenly shouted, "Brother, my family is very poor, and my family doesn't care about me at all. He will pay for my car fare. His family is rich. You have to take him with you to get the money." My face turned cold instantly. They are so stupid and bad. There is no one here, but they dare to expose their information. Are they afraid that they will not be able to arouse their vicious nature? Are they trying to kill for money? In this case, don't blame me for being rude. The man's smile disappeared when he heard this, and he looked me up and down. I glanced at my cousin coldly, turned my head and said to the man, "Look at my sister. She has fair skin, exquisite manicure, and Cartier earrings worth 70,000 yuan on her ears. Doesn't her family look like they have no money? If her parents don't love her, would they be willing to spend money to buy a car and support her to go on a self-driving tour? This is still a motorhome. It's very valuable. The manicure cost a lot of money, but the earrings are A grade. But I'm not worried that these men can recognize it." Sure enough, several men after glancing at the earring, he stared at my cousin with an unwavering expression. "You lied to us brothers." My cousin's eyes widened and she shook her head at the man. He was about to speak when I interrupted him. Brothers, if you don't believe me, look at this. My phone screen is showing his circle of friends. In order to show off, he uploaded a video of himself racing an hour ago with the caption, "I just bought a new car, it's so fun to drive it." Several men compared the videos and looked at my cousin with malicious eyes. My cousin was furious and rushed over to hit me, but I pushed her away. I opened it and put the recording on my phone in my bag. I said impatiently, "Cousin, if you don't want to go with them, the rescue team will be here soon. There is still a signal here, and they won't force us to go." When it comes to the rescue team, the men's cold eyes flashed a trace of unwillingness, and they urged impatiently, "Damn it, are you leaving or not? If not, let's go." My cousin gritted her teeth and said, "You have to go with me." I shook my head. "Then don't go. Don't pursue any excitement. You, a little girl, it's not appropriate for you to get in a car with several grown men." After saying that, I pulled his sleeve and said, "Cousin, you have to stay. If you leave, what will my uncle and aunt think of me? What if they blame me? I can't be so irresponsible. So I'll call my uncle now, and as long as he agrees, you leave immediately." My cousin's face changed instantly. She shook off my hand, glared at me fiercely and said, "Don't call them. I must leave today. No wonder no man wants you. You are ignorant of the times, old and ugly. Let me see how hypocritical you can be." After saying that, he quickly took 2 suspenders from the car and put them in front of him before he got in the car. A second ago I shouted at him, "What about you? Do you have a boyfriend?" He smiled at me proudly. I had dated 28 boyfriends in my 3 years in college. Do you know what it feels like to be with different men? I'm afraid they won't even change their positions in bed. I'm going to enjoy myself now. You can stay chaste for the rest of your life. It's amazing. I turned on my phone and stopped recording. I hoped that my uncle and others would be proud of their daughter when they heard this recording. The car door closed and drove away. I hurriedly opened the refrigerator in the car and took out the blood bag. When my cousin asked her family to travel to the uninhabited area for excitement, I was worried that she would not be able to get quick treatment in case of an accident. So I took the blood bag, cut their heads, poured them into my hands, and smeared them on my face. Then I called my uncle. My uncle's phone call. After my cousin was taken away in my previous life, I called my uncle immediately. He was playing mahjong with my parents at the time and didn't believe a word I said. This time I made a video call directly. When a bloody face appeared in the middle of the screen, my uncle was so scared that he cursed, "Are you going to die? Who are you trying to scare with a big red face?" I made my voice weak. My uncle is in trouble. We had an accident in an uninhabited area. My uncle was stunned for a second and looked at my face carefully. There was really blood. My dad suddenly appeared on the phone screen. The two of them shouted, "Xiaoing, have you found a rescue team? Are you okay? Send me the location quickly. Dad will come to save you." My mother also took a breath of cold air and looked for Yia on the screen desperately. "Is he okay?" I smiled. I have done simple things when I have nothing to do. It's been stabbed. The rescue team will be here soon. I'm sorry, uncle. My cousin refused to wait with me just now. The rescue team got on a large truck with several men and has left now. My uncle and the others need 8,000 for travel expenses. I just bought a car and don't have so much money. Please transfer it to me quickly. If you can't give the travel expenses, I'm afraid they will have bad intentions and attack my cousin. My uncle's face sank. What the hell are you talking about? My daughter blushes when she sees a man since she was a child. How could she get into a strange man's car? I know you are jealous of your sister's excellence and can't sleep to find the reason. You know to target your cousin. No wonder you can't get married at your age. I sighed. Uncle, this is true. Why don't you believe me? I finally found the signal and I don't know when it disappeared again. If you don't transfer the money to my cousin in time, it will be It's dangerous. She gritted her teeth and said, "Let me call her first." My mother's face appeared on the screen again. He said anxiously, "How about this? I'll transfer it to you first." I hung up the phone decisively and turned off my phone. My cousin would not answer my uncle's call. He was busy enjoying himself and he couldn't get through to me. In the near future, he would know that it was because of his hesitation that he missed the opportunity to save his daughter. This time I'll see how he can put the blame on me. The rescue team took me and the car to a safe place. After all, I was exposed to the desert for several hours. I went to the hospital for a physical examination. To be on the safe side, the doctor asked me to hang a few bottles of water. I turned on the phone and called my parents. "Mom and Dad, I'm in the hospital. There's no big problem. Don't worry." Dad breathed a sigh of relief. Mom. But I was very anxious. I quickly called your uncle and asked him what happened. "You must not lie." Yaya didn't answer the phone and your uncle was almost worried. I agreed. The next second my uncle called and asked me where I took Yaya. "He went out with you. You must bring him back safely. If he loses a hair, I will not let you go." I said a few perfunctorily in a helpless tone, hung up the phone, opened the family group and sent a photo of me receiving in 4 drip. Uncle, I called Yaya but he didn't answer. I'm still in the hospital and I really can't go out to find him. Friends and relatives in the group. Could you please find a way to contact Yaya? He is in a really dangerous situation. It has been so long since the incident. The relatives already knew about it. When they saw me talking, the room was boiling. If it was fake, it would be fine. But if it was real, Yaya would be in danger now. Let's call the police quickly. Isn't it just 8,000 yuan for Zhao Dagong? Xiaoying has the ability to make money. Would she want your 8,000 yuan? To be honest, if you don't give the money, it would be a pity if something really happened to Yaya. Is a good child, sensible and knows when to do things. He is going to be killed by his parents. But his aunt is still trying her best to refute. Who of them would think the money is too much? What if he is just cheating us? Give me this 8,000 yuan. Don't I know about my own daughter? He has been simple since he was a child. The school hunk who was pursuing her in their school pursued her. But she didn't agree. She would get together with a few low-class people who drive trucks. Don't think I don't know. Chongying used to have a crush on that school hunk. She is really. She dares to make up any rumor. My aunt is very confident in her daughter. Like my uncle, she will not believe me at all. As for the school hunk, it was obviously Zhang Yu who wanted to pursue him, but he did not agree to her. In order to prove what she said, my aunt even found some videos of my cousin dancing and winning awards. Do you think such an outstanding daughter of mine would degenerate? I sent a few screenshots to the family group. It has been almost 4 hours since the incident. The truck driver sent these to me. I had already discovered it when I turned on the phone. A Biao called me countless times to urge me to pay the chips, and sent a lot of threatening messages. What about the travel expenses you agreed to? You dare to cheat me, right? You will never see this stinky bitch again. The following is a photo of my cousin with messy clothes and slap marks all over her face. The group exploded again. My aunt was still explaining that this was my fraud. They photoshopped the picture. But no one paid attention. My uncle's angry voice made the group quiet for a few seconds. I have already transferred the money, and you must bring my daughter back safely. I received the transfer and transferred it to a Biao. A few minutes later, a Biao received the money, but sent me a string of cold texts. Now I know that I gave the money too late. I hate people who don't keep their promises the most. I hesitated for a while and sent a no, but a red exclamation mark was displayed. I took a screenshot and sent it to the group and sent a voice with a crying tone. My uncle had no choice but to call the police. My uncle sent a 59s voice message full of insults and curses. Soon my mother told me that my uncle had called the police. A few days later I was outside the bank and my parents called me again. My mother was crying inside and asked me to come back quickly. Well, your uncle received a threatening text message. They asked your uncle for 1 million yuan, otherwise they would kill him. We watched the video and your cousin is gone. Come back as soon as you wake up, and we will help your uncle through this difficult time together. I said to Mom, haven't we helped him enough over the years? Can we help him for a lifetime? Mom was silent for a while, but we are a family. I couldn't help it. A family. How could he treat us as a family? He said you are his servant, and I am also his daughter's servant, and we must obey his orders. Have you forgotten that in order to force you to pay for your cousin to go to college, they locked me in the bathroom of his house? And in order to make you buy a dance costume for your cousin, they spread rumors everywhere saying that I was pregnant before marriage, which embarrassed you. You gave him so many benefits, but they didn't even have a good face. Show me. You still have to mock me during the holidays. Am I not your biological daughter because he has a congenital heart disease? Are you so unconditionally doting on him? Mom, can you wake up? His heart disease has been cured long ago. He pleaded a few words on the phone. Yes, your uncle is not that kind of person. There must be a misunderstanding. I didn't want to listen anymore and decisively hung up the phone. Would I talk nonsense without evidence? I just hope my mom will turn back from her wrong path. As a result, that night my dad told me that my mom asked him for the bank card. That was the dowry you saved for yourself. I didn't want him to help your uncle anymore. But after all, human life, it's at stake. Xiaoying, why don't we still? I decisively refused. No, Dad, everyone has their own destiny. This is not only my dowry but also your retirement money. You keep the card. You must not let my mom take it away. My dad agreed and sighed deeply. Your uncle refused to leave our house. Your aunt also cried and made a fuss. I don't think this situation is right. You better hide outside if you come back. They will definitely not let you go. I won't go back. How can I hide? It's better to kill them cleanly and put an end to it all in my life. A few days later I went home. As soon as I entered the door I saw my uncle and aunt leaning on the sofa in my house, pointing at my parents and complaining that I just wouldn't leave. It was your daughter who took Yaya out. You are responsible. I coughed lightly. Uncle Yaya volunteered to go with them. I have tried my best. You can only mourn. They noticed me then. They all turned their heads to look at me. My aunt cursed a few times, rushed over to hit me. I dodged to the side. He almost fell to the ground. Seeing this, my uncle came over to help and pulled me in. He was about to punch me in the face when more than a dozen relatives outside the door squeezed in and held him back. Zhao Dagong, how could you hit your niece? Xiaoying was so kind that she called us one by one to help you solve the problem. And you are still trying to stop her. My uncle was stunned. He didn't expect me to call so many people over. He let go of my hand angrily and glanced coldly at the crowd. What's the use of you coming here as a pauper? Can you raise enough money? It's not a small amount. The relatives rolled their eyes and wanted to leave, but I stopped them. My uncle's daughter was kidnapped, and he was too sad to say hurtful things. Don't bother with him, let's go in quickly. After saying that, I looked at my uncle again. Uncle, everyone is here. Help you, do you really want to rescue Yaya? He frowned and stopped talking. The relatives looked better and walked into my house. I went straight to the point. Uncle, since you have already called the police, you should cooperate with the police. The police do not recommend that you make private agreements with the criminals. What's more, he has been abducted abroad now. Even if the ransom is paid, he may not be able to come back. Uncle glared at me and said, you said it so easily. If you don't raise the ransom, they will kill her. You just want to kill my daughter. I shrugged, then go ahead and raise the ransom. Why are you staying in my house? We can't help much. Uncle smiled coldly. Your mother has been helping me, why don't you help? Aunt also stared at me. If Yaya really you said that, then we would never beg you even if we die, but Yaya is innocent and kind-hearted. You must have colluded with others to sell her. If my daughter doesn't come back, I will sell you, I said. Wasn't it she who proposed to go to the no man's land to play? I tried to stop her again and again, but she refused. I remember it was you who called and forced me to take her there. As for the suitor, you don't think your cousin is too naive? He told me in person that the man was boring and respected him too much in bed. He didn't think it was exciting enough, so he dumped him. Aunt screamed and rushed over to hit me. My daughter is not like what you said. I laughed and pushed him away. Aunt, what are we betting on? He was suddenly stunned, laughing at how well it seems that you don't know and are not so confident about your cousin. She gritted her teeth and asked what you were betting on. I thought about it and decided to put it this way. Over the years, you have taken a lot of benefits from my mother. I roughly calculated that it is 500,000. If I win, you will return us 500,000. If I lose, I will give you another 500,000. How about it? My aunt and uncle looked at each other. Now they are in need of money. Soon a cunning look flashed in their eyes. Can you produce evidence? They believe that their daughter is innocent, even if there are some flaws. I can't keep evidence for the fairy. I smiled and took out my mobile phone from my bag. I really have evidence. Cousin, if you don't want to go with them, I'm going to enjoy myself. The sound ended and I showed everyone another video. It was sent to me a few days ago by an excellent suitor of my cousin. In the video, my cousin said arrogantly, you can't satisfy me at all, and you don't deserve to be with me. After the video ended, the scene fell into silence. The first person to speak was my second aunt, who was always straightforward. She couldn't help laughing. Zhaodagong, this is you in Xiaoying's voice, we can all hear it. What do you think of your daughter? She blushes just by looking at a man. Blushing doesn't necessarily mean shyness, it can also be excitement. How can she be so wild at such a young age? I think he deserves to be abducted. He is so stupid and cheap. The relatives changed from pity for my cousin at the beginning to sneer. My uncle just stood there with empty eyes and open mouth, as if the world had collapsed. But my aunt's ability to withstand pressure was obviously much better than his. He shouted, technology is so advanced now, who knows if this audio clip was synthesized by you? My daughter is in danger, but you have ulterior motives and are taking advantage of the situation to cheat us out of 500,000 yuan. He rushed towards me again. Several relatives held him back and rolled their eyes at him. Xiaoying's mother has helped you so much over the years. You are the one who let her down. You were stupid enough to let your daughter take risks in the no man's land and drag Xiaoying there as well. You are usually mean to Xiaoying's family. You should pay back the 500,000 yuan, and now you are still refusing to pay. How can you be so mean? Shameless. My aunt was so angry that her features were distorted and she couldn't utter a word. I just stared at him and my uncle, who had just come back to his senses, and said lightly, everyone knows about this. My cousin knows it best. On the way here, I asked him to check the audio. Someone in the crowd nodded. There is no trace of synthesis in this audio. It is real. If you don't believe it, take it to any professional for testing. No one will disbelieve it. Even my uncle and aunt. I saw the brokenness and disbelief in their eyes when they were holding on. I continued. I had already told my cousin very clearly at the time and asked him not to go, but he insisted on going. What's more, I was seriously injured and covered in blood. Even if I wanted to stop him, I was powerless. Later, I called you for help and asked you to transfer money so that maybe I could save my cousin. But have you forgotten that it was you who hesitated? I approached my uncle, and his eyes became evasive. He refused to look me in the eye. I stared at him and said with regret, you had countless chances to save your daughter, but you ruined them all. After watching the video sent by the trafficker, he had 5 nails pulled out. I wonder if he hated you, the father who pushed him into the abyss, when he was crying and feeling sad and desperate. Uncle, what were you thinking at the time? Put the blame on me. I have done everything I could. You knew very well that you were the only one who killed your daughter, Uncle. Uncle, please go to the bank and return the 500,000 to us now. Uncle suddenly shook his head frantically. His face was pale, and his lips couldn't stop trembling. No, I didn't. I thought it was fake. I didn't hurt him. I didn't. I put away my smile and said seriously, it was you who killed him with your own hands. Screaming, Uncle suddenly fell to the ground, covering his chest, curled up in pain. Aunt was scared. Oh no, he had a heart attack. How could this happen? He hadn't had an attack for decades. Everyone, please help. Send him to the hospital quickly. The blow is too great. He really can't bear it. But because of Grandma and Mother's doting, Uncle has offended many people over the years. Relatives and friends look very embarrassed. No one wanted to go up to help. Only my mother ran over crying and pulled him up. Everyone please help. Just for the sake of me and the child's father, I beg you. Hearing this, a few relatives were willing to lend a hand. The patient's condition in the hospital is not optimistic. We will arrange an operation for him as soon as possible. The hospital rushed into the operating room. My aunt was crying in the corridor, and my mother was secretly wiping tears. I accompanied my father for a walk downstairs. After we came back, I saw my mother stuffing a bank card into my aunt's hand. Forget about the 500,000 yuan for my sister-in-law. 600,000 yuan here is Xiaoying's birthday. You can use it to treat Dagong. Add to your savings, you should have more than 1 million. Hurry up and save Yaya. Come on, don't tell Lao Chan and Xiaoying. If they find out, they will definitely come to me to make trouble. Just like in the previous life, no matter how my dad hides the bank card, he will find it eventually. I rushed over to grab the bank card. Everything today is their own fault. Didn't he say that if Zhang Yu was a lowly person, they would never beg us even if they died? My aunt's face turned pale, and finally she knelt on the ground and slapped herself. It was my fault. I beg you to lend me money, just Yaya. I know he is willing to kneel like this because he is afraid that I will freeze the card and he will not be able to get anything. I waited until his face was swollen, then I sighed to my mother. The money is for you and Dad's retirement. This card is internationally accepted. You can withdraw money in any country. I don't agree to give such a precious card to your aunt, especially since I can't freeze this card in my country. I deliberately shouted this, and sure enough, my aunt's eyes lit up. She grabbed my legs and kicked me, and even wanted to bite me. Your mother gave it to me, and it's mine. I never snatched it away. He took the card and ran away. I turned around and looked at my mother disappointedly. Her face was flushed. Your aunt will return the money to us. He is your real uncle. You know how much he loves Yaya. If something really happens to Yaya, it will be more painful than killing him. Just think of it as a request from your mother. Don't ask him for it back, okay? My heart is completely cold. Mom, you really can't wake up. This situation has happened once in the last life. The second time, my mother didn't give up and always wanted to help my uncle. The money he used to redeem my cousin eventually became the blade that killed me, but he didn't know what would happen next. My advice to him was not short-sighted, so I could only take precautions. The card was snatched away by my aunt herself, so you can't blame me if anything happens. I went to the police station and communicated with them about the situation in the no man's land at that time. I showed them a Biao's WeChat and described his appearance and characteristics. His parents were very emotionally unstable. I heard that they were raising a ransom everywhere. The police looked solemn. Thank you for letting me know. I will communicate with them. In this case, as a parent, it is inevitable that there will be times when you are panicked and at the mercy of others, but the ransom, once it is handed over, the victim will no longer have the right to negotiate. The police quickly found a Biao's information based on my description, and then called my aunt and said, "We have found the suspect's information, and as long as he shows up, he can be arrested immediately." "Calm down," my aunt yelled on the phone. "She is not your daughter, of course you should calm down." "I don't care, I must save him." A few days later, a Biao was arrested, and several of his friends were also arrested. We originally just wanted to play with him, but he proposed to record a video for excitement. Later, when we were about to let him go, he used the video to blackmail us, saying that he would sue us and that he forced us to do so. The authenticity of these words has been confirmed. It is impossible to know the exact situation, but the only thing that is certain is that my cousin was kept in the dark by them. They arrested a Biao, but my cousin had already been sold to someone else. After the police communicated with her repeatedly, my aunt changed her mind and said, "Okay, I won't give the ransom, but you must rescue my daughter." But the police and I knew that he did not change his mind, but contacted the traffickers again. This time he planned to deal with the police together with the traffickers. This is certainly not surprising. He did this in his previous life. The police had obviously located the address of the traffickers, and it would only take a few hours to rescue my cousin. But because he was worried about his cousin being injured, he secretly passed the information to the traffickers, resulting in the death of several policemen. But the police relied on what do you mean by sacrifice for such a bastard? In the next few days, my uncle was in a coma in the hospital. The doctor said that his desire to survive was very weak. If he didn't wake up within a week, he might never wake up in this life. My aunt stayed indoors every day. The police strictly monitored his bank account, and even the flow of funds in the area to ensure that he did not pay ransom to human traffickers. But I did not tell the police that my bank card was with my aunt. My mother was also very anxious these days and walked around the house. I said, "Aren't you worried about your cousin? Don't be afraid. As long as she doesn't use the card to swipe money at the border, she can't transfer the money out. The money is safe." My mother rolled her eyes and laughed dryly. Of course, we have to trust the police. That night, I heard her making a phone call on the balcony. My aunt would not trust anyone now, but she would definitely trust my mom. My mom had never lied to them before, and for the sake of their family, she would go through fire and water. Sure enough, my aunt sneaked away that night and took a train for several hours to the border. He knew that he could not transfer a penny from his account, so he had to deliver the money in person to save his daughter. With so much cash, he would definitely be noticed. The police went to his house the next day and found that he had taken some gold bars. I looked carefully, but my bank card was also missing. When the police arrived at the border, they found that he was in a black hotel. I found that his eyes were lifeless, and he was sitting in the toilet hugging his knees. It was me who harmed him. That was not an internationally accepted card at all. You dead girl, I will never let you go. Yaya's mother will definitely save you and bring you home. There was a big problem with my aunt's mental state. She was sent to the hospital for treatment. When the police arrested the human trafficking gang abroad, my cousin's body had been chopped up and fed to dogs. Facing the police's interrogation, they vomited everything. Who let this old woman fool us? There was no way to withdraw money with that bank card. When we inserted the bank card, the location was exposed. We were afraid that we would be caught if we brought that woman with us. The human trafficking gang was sentenced to death, and Abiao and others were sentenced to 20 years. The police could not find the body of my cousin, so they could only bring back her mobile phone and some personal belongings. I returned home, and my mother fainted after seeing the news on TV. When I went to the hospital to take care of him, the doctor said that my uncle had just woken up. In the ward, my uncle's face was as white as the wall, and he asked anxiously and weakly, "Where is Yaya? How is he? Even if I have to sell my house and blood, I must redeem him." I took out the mobile phone that the police brought back from abroad. It had been smashed, but after my cousin's technical repair, the video and photo content in it have been recovered. "Uncle, this is Yaya. You hold my cell phone, you want to know what happened and how it happened." He can't say another word and can only look at the screen. His cousin was having fun at the beginning. Every word is heartbreaking. "You see, I didn't lie to you. Your daughter really got in the car voluntarily. He is not as simple as you think. He has a lot of fun outside. Uncle, you have saved a lot over the years to support him to learn dance and save up a dowry for him. You have also cheated money from my mother, but is it worth it? I know he is your pride. He has won many awards for dancing, which makes you very proud. But just now I have sent these videos to everyone he knows, and even posted on WeChat moments using his account." Looking at my uncle lying on the hospital bed with his eyes wide open and a face full of unwillingness, I sighed. But he wouldn't feel ashamed. The person is already dead. I heard that he was chopped up and fed to dogs. Not even a trace of residue can be found. You must want to avenge him, but it's a pity that you can't take care of yourself now. My uncle made a strange cry, and the machine next to him beeped wildly. His dead fish eyes were about to pop out, and suddenly he kicked his feet, tilted his head and stopped moving. My uncle could not be rescued. My aunt finally got better in the mental hospital, but she went completely crazy after hearing the news. She was either crying and laughing in the ward or... He held the toilet and said that was his daughter, and no one was allowed to bully him. I was afraid that he would be cured, so I sent him my cousin's cell phone. The chat records between my cousin and various men were also completely exposed to him. "Aunt, look at this person." He was asking my cousin the price. "She is worthy of being my aunt. She is an excellent daughter. The price is already very good. Look at this person again." She said that my cousin learned to dance just to unlock the postures. This is too vicious. By the way, her suitor said that he only thought she was materialistic, but he didn't expect her to be so promiscuous. Fortunately, he didn't contact her. She looked at the records in the mobile phone day after day, and she finally couldn't stand it anymore. That day she jumped from a tall building. She fell and turned into a pool of meat paste. After hearing about the miserable situation of my uncle's family, my mother refused to eat or drink for several days. This time my father did not go to comfort her. In addition to telling the nurse to take good care of her every day, I only accompanied her for an hour every day. That day, she suddenly held my hand and cried, "Xiaoying, Mom is sorry for you, but even if I subsidize you, your uncle has not treated you badly over the years. Can you forgive Mom this time? Mom will live a good life with you in the future." The doctor said that I suffered a blow and could only spend most of the time in bed. I looked at him quietly. Do you know that the reason why my cousin died was because my aunt used my card, and the reason why my aunt died was because you asked her to go to the border? It was your endless doting and tolerance that helped the tyrant and killed my uncle. She cried and trembled all over. Mom knew it. It was Mom's fault. Mom was wrong. My mother is the only living relative of my uncle. All his inheritance belongs to my mother. Excluding the money my mother subsidized him over the years, there is still $200,000 left. This time my mother finally did the right thing. She donated all the $200,000 to welfare institutions, and we returned to our previous peaceful life, but my father gave me all the bank cards in the family. He said that although my mother has changed, she still feels more at ease with the money in her own hands. Think so too. The full text is over.